All right, what's going on, guys? So, sounds like we might be giving up on the old Turbo LS 740. So Austin, who owns the car, he's kind of over some of the frustrations that come with building a non-conventional platform to go fast. So he was kind of talking about maybe changing platforms, maybe doing something to cut a ton of weight out of that car. A few other things that he just wasn't really sure about. And I kind of had the idea that, I owed him some money for some work he did for me. And, I kind of thought for the money we could get parting the car out, we could probably get enough money to get a C4 Corvette or maybe a third gen or something. And then just move the turbo drivetrain into that car. I showed him a picture of a C4 Corvette with the hood up, and he was like, there's so much space. Basically creamed his pants. And yeah, so we're going to get a C4 Corvette. Obviously, I'm a big TunePort guy. I have my C5. My brother's got a C6. We're very familiar with those platforms and the things that kind of come with them. So I found a cheap C4. It's in New Jersey, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's a roller. It comes with a bunch of parts. I'm not sure how useful it's all going to be. As far as the LS stuff, it'd probably be totally useless, but we should be able to sell a lot of the TunePort stuff. It does come with a 350. That's the original motor out of that car, and it's unfortunately an 86, so it's an iron head, 2-bolt main block, and I think it's a flat tappet as well. So that kind of blows, but I'm kind of thinking we could take that block, put some 305 heads on it to prove all the old fucking boomers wrong that doesn't actually make good power. Put it in my Trans Am and spray the piss out of it until it sends Uncle Rodney somewhere. Maybe it might be Elon Musk to the moon, who knows. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go get the trailer and we're gonna get going. And we got us an M3 last weekend. But I'm gonna hook up to this thing and get on going to New Jersey.
Told Zach that apparently Clayton's partner.
Here she is. I mean, I know it's wet, but it's not that bad. It's weird.
Yeah, see all the cracks?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
The quarter is the real bad one. Like everywhere on this quarter is cracked.
That's so weird, dude. Oh, what the fuck? That's actually kind of bad.
And back on the back, that's where you see primer. Or not primer.
Fiberglass. That's weird.
I guess that could be primer.
This had a Greenwood wing on it, or something.
Like, dude, I bet you this thing it was a drag car or something.
Camara's pretty cool, but
Yeah.
or they put the Z-wing on
Everything's
the
real clean on it
that.
but the front bumper and the blue graphics.
Usually how that goes.
I don't know how.
I don't know. Do you think the top leaks? Top's barely bolted down. We should probably
Yeah, probably take that off.
Probably, I wouldn't even take it off and see if we can tighten it. See if the tool's in there. Mirror's missing on this side. But...
They're this side too. They're inside.
Are they? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not... Ooh, you're right. That clamshell's the worst. It's not bad, though. I don't know. It looks ported a little bit. At least a gasket match and a ball blend. That's pretty cool. And there she is. And made it back in one piece. So yeah, here it is in the daytime. I'm cleaning all the trash and shit out of it. You can see the paint's definitely a little worse than I expected. But for an $800 C4, can you really have high hopes? I don't think so. It's a solid project overall. This is like, it's aftermarket paint, and that's the issue. This kind of stuff. We could do something with it if he wants. It might end up a vet cart, who knows. Saw blades are nice touch. This is all like all the dash parts are gone. I've been trying to clean them out. I don't know if this door's open. It is. But like you can see, is that a sunshade? That might be worth some money. Trade it for a Sunsetter retractable awning. What's this? Trash. I don't know what's in that bin, but steel dash, factory steering column. I guess the battery is on a different key. And if you go to the other side, there's switches. So he's coming to get this thing tomorrow, and hopefully he's not like, dude, what the fuck did you just get me into? But he might be, who knows? And I think at that point, if he is, it becomes a vet cart. But I'm gonna grab all this small block Chevy stuff and the trash and get this thing ready to go. Definitely needs bigger gauges, I think. Boost gauge here, AFR gauge here. Oh wait, that's ABS, I think. That's kind of cool, but yeah. So in my investigating, shitty fucking Hondas, I found a hole and another hole. So if he deletes AC, at least he gets cool air induction from the floor. So I brought the heads over to the shop to kind of get a better look at what is up with these. So it's definitely something. They tried to do a bowl blend or something, I think is what that's called. It's kind of weird. Looks like a DIY job. And looking at this deck, I'm guessing they took a Wizzy wheel or a DA to it or something, which if I did that, I wouldn't be concerned, but that's because I have at least a slight clue what I'm doing. I know not to like burn too much material off, even then like on a head. I try to avoid that, but you see that scratch there, that's definitely like a DA or something, but whatever. So the intake ports definitely have some work done. That might just be a gasket match, and I think the lower intake was matched as well, but if you look down in there, if you can see around the valve, they tried to port, or at least smooth out that area around the intake valve, and it's the same on that one. You can see the grinding marks and everything. So they're just L98 heads, I think. I'll have to look at the casting number. And they're definitely the early style pattern that you'd expect on an 85 or really any C4 Corvette. But let me flip these over again so we can look at the exhaust side. So yeah, exhaust was done as well. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if this was a DIY attempt. They did a little bit of work around the head there, or the valve there, same thing there. So they did something. I'm sure it flows a little more air than it probably did before. I'll see if I can get the casting number off of these and see if they're actually worth using for anything. One other thing I see is those dampers on the valve springs. I don't remember if stock valve springs have that or not. It's been quite a while since I had a stock L98 to play with, and these look like they're 864 heads, I think is what that says. LS stuff's so much easier because it's right like on basically on this little ledge here. So it's easy to see what casting mark they are, and if you were looking for double humps, you'd be looking here, but these are definitely TBI heads or maybe L98 heads. The car's definitely a little weird because everything is actually there. Like the guy said, everything's here, which I think everyone's heard a million times before, and it never actually is. You know, it's always a pile of shit. Everything's missing. The things you need that are valuable are always things that they sold and forgot about. You know, I've been there. Everyone that's built a car from a roller or something has probably been there. But like we have the crank, we have the pistons, we have the rods, we have the heads, the complete intake, the fuel rails. He gutted it for the steel dash, and the steel dash is nice, but the whole digital dash was there. The LCD screens were missing, which I thought was weird. So like that is kind of missing, but the dash shell was complete. There was a dash pad in there that was probably worth a couple $100, but they piled a bunch of shit on it and it looked like a taco. But it had no cracks. So that was probably worth something. And you know, if we had a third gen and you piled a bunch of shit on it, instead of tacoing, the whole dash would shatter like a piece of ice. So yeah, I don't know. Weird car. I sent Austin a bunch of pictures. He's really into it. And I'm going to powder coat the TPI, which is currently off-gassing along with a bunch of other stuff I'm working on, to hopefully recover a little bit more money and buy a 373 diff for this thing. We looked up what diff could come in an automatic C4, and it's not good. It's like a 280 something, which is no improvement over the diff in the 740, which is part of the reason we're doing this, or 308, which is a minor improvement. So the 740, in the next video, I'm hoping we get one more drive out of it before we start tearing shit apart. I'll see if I can get a video of it in first gear. I think it's actually starting in second, but it is an absolute dog. And if you watch the previous video of the 740, you'll hear me say like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel that bad. Like, it's kind of fast. When it fully gets into boost and stuff around like $4,000, it feels like a 4th gen Camaro, like a stock automatic, like 98 Z28. Which isn't a ton of power, but it's weird. You know, first gear is super long in that car. Like, I think my data log was off because it's reading a truck computer. I think it's programmed for a 373 rear, so the vehicle speed is probably based on a 373, but it did like 65 in first gear. Which I know, like, my brother's Z06 can do that. Like, a C6Z can do 60 in first gear, or like a Viper can do 60 in first gear, but that thing doesn't sound right to me. So yeah, we'll have some more videos soon. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time, and hopefully we've got a C4 race car to build.